So I don't know if I'm going to cry more or cheer more with this flashback. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 1130 of One Piece. And yeah, we are in the Kuma flashback, which is going to be the Kuma and Bonnie flashback, obviously. And we have now learned about Kuma's origins and even his race. Kuma is a part of the Buccaneer race. In fact, he is the last living member of the Buccaneer race, at least as of, this point in the flashback. Because I feel like Bonnie would probably count for that. But yeah. So he is a Buccaneer, which is an ancient race that apparently has the blood of the ancient giants in them. Don't know exactly how all that works, but neat. And his race is seemingly wanted by the government to be erased because of their involvement, I guess, in the Void Century, it seems. Because of this, Kuma's father and Kuma himself are hunted down by the government, and when Kuma's only 4 years old, they are found. All three of them are taken into custody and end up becoming enslaved by the Celestial Dragons, but in separate areas. We soon find out that Kuma's mother was killed. We don't know the details of it, but she did die. And while his father is trying to cheer him up, Kuma watches as he's killed too. His blood splattering onto Kuma's face, which that is very fucked. And of course, Kuma continues to be enslaved and is brought to God Valley. We're finally getting the God Valley information. We see that St. Figurlin Garland is there. He's the guy who killed Don Quixote Miosgard, the one good celestial dragon we've met. And he is he's Shanks's father. Clearly. I mean, outside of the stupid ass hair, he looks exactly like Shanks. It's very clear he's connected to him, and I feel like the age feels about right. Like he seems like he'd be about the age of where Shanks's father would be, because Shanks is what, in his 30s or 40s or something. And Garland looks like current day, looks like he's what, in his 60s or so, maybe 70s. But yeah, it's believable. It's absolutely believable that he's his father specifically. And so we see in this God Valley incident, which was 28 years in the past, I believe it was. I think that's the number. During this, he ends up killing the king of God Valley because they're going to be holding a human hunting competition there, the Celestial Dragons. And Garling just gets annoyed with this king who's, complaining about his citizens being hunted by the Celestial Dragons. And so he just kills them. Just casually. Saturn is also there, because of course he is. And he doesn't look much different, interestingly enough, from the current day. But we see that Kuma's also there, and he manages to escape his cage. So some of the other slaves are sent after him. And while they're reining him in and trying to bring him back because they're scared of, what will happen to them if they don't, they are confronted by our boy, Emporio Ivankov. That was such a huge surprise. And it's it kind of makes sense because we know, Kuma and Ivankov are best friends. We've known that since Marineford, where he was trying to get through to Kuma. And obviously we know that they were part of the Revolutionary Army together before Kuma, became what he has become. And so it's like, yeah, this tracks. I just didn't know that it was going to go this far back. Kuma's just like a baby practically at this point. He's like 4 years old, and Eva comes in with maybe actual little sister, maybe more of like an endearing term, Ginny, who is very clearly Bonnie's mother. And they start to talk to the other slaves about the idea of freedom, and it's like you got to make a miracle happen, which that's just a callback to Impel Down and the miracle of Luffy surviving, the hormone treatment that saved his life after being poisoned by Magellan. So that's just a direct callback to that. But on top of that, they're encouraging the slaves to not just follow these orders and to follow them instead. And it said that specifically that Eva and Ginny were also slaves. It did say that in the introduction, which I think I was like kind of questioning that last time. I think I missed that part of the little introduction thing on my first viewing. It happens. But yeah, it said they were also slaves. And so they're planning a revolt. And this is kind of where the first stages of the Revolutionary Army seem to have come from. So I wonder if we're going to see how they all met Dragon. I feel like we have to, right? That's going to be really fascinating. That's going to be really fascinating. But yeah, that is where it ended last time, and now we're going to see like the aftermath of that. I assume we're probably going to see more of just the God Valley stuff as well, which means we're going to see a lot of crazy shit, I assume, because that means we're going to see Roger and Garp. That means we're going to see the Rocks Pirates too, right? Because that was the thing. Roger and Garp teamed up to take down the Rocks Pirates on God Valley. We learned that from brand new some number of arcs / episodes ago. I don't remember exactly when that was. Was it brand new? I think it was brand new. Maybe it was Sengoku. It might have been Sengoku who talked about this. It was one of the two. But either way, yeah, we learned about this briefly before, but now we're gonna actually get to see it, or at least I assume so. I hope so. Um, Yeah, it's like, and I've watched other people's reactions to last episode as well, and everybody pretty much had the exact same reaction when God Valley came up, when like the big text on the screen, it's like God Valley. Everybody freaked out, so I wasn't the only one. Like, mine was actually a lot more subdued, of course. As I just tend to be. Um, like I just like went like, oh shit. I think that's exactly what I said. But like other people were like freaking the fuck out, which it's like, yeah, that's fair. This is a big deal. um, yeah, this flashback's gonna get wild. Like we've had some amazing flashbacks. And after the Odin one in Wano, where we got to see a lot of Roger and Whitebeard and stuff, like that was already a massive flashback, not just for Odin but for everything, for so much, again, for Roger and Whitebeard as well. We got to basically see our first glimpse of Laugh-Tale. Granted, we saw practically none of it, but still we got at least a tiny little insignificant glimpse. And we even learned how it was named. So it's like we also found out Odin was with the crew when they discovered Laugh-Tale, when they discovered everything, the truth of the world and all. So it's like, that's wild. We also found out Buggy and Shanks weren't with them when they went to Laugh-Tale. So that's fascinating in and of itself as well. There's just a lot that's really exciting about what's happening. Because this flashback could definitely rival that. Because I feel like this could be more emotional, and the Odin flashback had a lot of emotion to it. It was obviously very heartbreaking what happened. But like I feel like this might make me cry even more. Like this might be up there with some of the like most emotional flashbacks for me. Like Koala or Law. I think I mentioned this last time, so I'm very excited. Let's just get into it and see what this episode has in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Well, we got to see at least some of the God Valley incident. I assume we'll see more in the future. It's just a matter of like they're gonna Oda's gonna drip feed it to us. That something this big is definitely not going to be revealed all at once. We're not going to see all of it at once. We haven't even seen Rox yet. I think we heard him there, but that's about it. But we see like Big Mom taking Kaido's future Devil Fruit back. We see like Garp coming in, and you know he's going to help Roger take on the Rocks Pirates. Yeah, it's like everything is like wonderfully set up here. This is big. And amongst all of this, we get to see the escape plan from Eva, Ginny, Kuma, and the others. And it basically is just get at least one of the devil fruits. And they did. Kuma managed to get the Pawpaw fruit. We have no idea how he escaped Saturn. Maybe because of his powers, but we didn't actually get to see that moment. We do know that he got 500 people off the island to safety. And that included, obviously, Eva and Ginny. Eva left to do his own thing, to find his own way, while Ginny stayed with Kuma for the time being. And, well, we know where that's going to go. Now, Kuma's, like, saying he's 9 and everything, so has 5 years really passed since the like 4-year-old part? It's hard to tell because he doesn't look much of any different. So it's hard to tell how much time has actually passed there. But yeah, it's like it's nonetheless. I'm assuming they're telling the truth. So I'm assuming Kuma is 9, which would make Ginny 13. She's just very little. And so I assume it said Ivankov was older. So he's like, I don't know, maybe 16 or so. But while on the island, Ginny and Kuma start to figure out like how to make lives. They chop wood and sell it. And that gets them money for food, which they eat happily. She obviously eats a lot. And they even make friends along the way. And after so many years, Ginny finally feels the feeling of being full again. Like actually being full of like food. And it's something she hasn't felt for so long. She just starts crying of joy. And Kuma like connects it all back to his family. He remembers doing this same stuff, the chopping the wood, selling it, getting the food, all of this with his parents, and it causes him to cry too. They just celebrate the lives that they're able to have again. for different reasons, but the same kind of vibe. And yeah, it's really gonna be interesting to see how this eventually goes into Kuma sacrificing himself to become the cyborg he's become. More robot than man currently, but still. I'm very interested to see if this also does have a happy ending for Kuma, because he's presumably on his way, right? Like, I assume he went to the Red Line and climbed that to get to Marijois. I assume he went there first, probably because of he wanted to probably go after the Celestial Dragons, but I don't know if he like is fully aware of what he's doing. He seems like he's kind of like just going for it, so I assume he's going to make it to Egghead. But we've still got quite a bit of flashback before anything like that even comes about. So we know Bonnie saw the part in the memories and everything with Kuma being, beaten up and everything by the other slaves on God Valley. So I assume she saw all of this because it showed her seeming a lot happier than she had been before, prior to Saturn, coming on shore and everything. But like when she was like first running with the crew and everything, leaving before Saturn came on shore, before Kizaru destroyed Vega Force 1, it showed her like being a lot happier. And so I assume that because she had seen everything in the flashback, she probably saw like a lot more good than bad, maybe. Or maybe she didn't see everything, but we know she saw this part at least. I'm wondering how much she saw now. Curious about that. But going back to the God Valley stuff, we get to see the crew. We get to see Whitebeard. We see Big Mom. We see Captain John, who I guess like either through age or like his zombie for some reason has a longer chin. He has a much more normal chin here. But we see Shiki the Golden Lion, who is part of the Strong World. That was the name of the movie. Who's the villain in Strong World. We get to see some mysterious people we don't quite know yet. But we also see Miss Buckingham Stussy, as well as Gloriosa, who we now know as Granny Neon on Amazon Lily. And her snake, her snake looked a lot like Salome, and I'm wondering if just the Empress of Amazon Lily always has a snake looking like that. Like maybe it's a specific species of snake that are only owned by the Empress, or if it is actually Salome, because Salome is massive now. So maybe and this snake was definitely not anywhere near as big. So I'm wondering, could it be the same snake? Curious about that. But yeah, this is definitely this is very interesting nonetheless. I wonder when we're going to see the rest of it. If we're going to see the rest of it in these flashbacks, or if we're going to have to wait for some other point in the future. Probably the latter, but I guess we'll find out. In the meantime, though, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of the escape plan? Of, everyone running into Big Mom and Saturn, and Kuma eventually, escaping, and then everything he had experienced with Ginny as well. Let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. No spoilers, please. While there is some things that I do know, there's a lot that I don't. So, no spoilers. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.